Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Can you see the shared screen?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Steel hatch cover arrangement. It could be like this. This is actually sideways rolling. This panel is going to roll like this. This one is going to go like this. It is called sideways rolling. Sideways rolling MacGregor type. MacGregor is the name of the manufacturer. The bulk areas are designed, to give a full form so that you have maximum amount of cargo. Block coefficient is high. Cargo holds have large unobstructed hatches to facilitate the process of cargo loading and discharging. Means what? These have large areas, unobstructed hatches, so that uh, loading can take place, discharging could be by grab, so the grab should have access to the hold. That is why it will have a large unobstructed space to facilitate the process. Now, obviously, there will be issues regarding some water seeping. Hello, yes, please, saying something. Anybody saying something? No? Okay. Obviously, because you will have issues regarding some water not seeping in, not having ingressed into, but maybe from cargo itself, from the whole bulkhead, you will have some water. So you should have hold bilges also for drainage in form of two wells, port and starboard, on each side of the hold. The bilges are used to collect the water from tank top, but they will have bilge alarms to track the level. By modern regulations, you have two bilge alarms, high level and low level bilge alarms to track the level. As soon as the alarm is activated, it can be having a alarm in the CCR, in the cargo control room, or maybe the bridge. So you know that there's some water inside bilges, which requires maybe pumping out under MARPOL. If regulations are permitting, then you might have to pump out using pumps which are located in the engine room normally. You could have them operated from the CCR. For discharge of bulk cargo, normally grabs, bulldozers, or hydraulic hammers to break the cargo in case it has solidified is used. Now, this also leads to another topic which we will not do today, but we will do it elsewhere in some other class. Damages caused by these grabs, bulldozer, hydraulic hammers on the tank top used. So, for this reason, the tank top, which is the deck of the cargo hold, has to be additionally strengthened from underside so that it will absorb the damage or the impacts of these grabs, bulldozers, etc. Water level detectors are there, and this is like this. As soon as you have water level above inner bottom reaching 0.5 meter, you can have an alarm, a second alarm. First alarm at 0.5 meter, a second alarm when the water reaches a height of either 15% of the cargo hold height or 2 meters. Now this is supposed to be deactivated in case the hold itself is to carry ballast. There are ships, there are bulk carriers which are equipped to carry ballast in the hold, maybe for heavy weather or maybe even to increase the dead weight in ballast condition to meet the stability requirements. Water could be carried like ballast, in which case this alarm needs to be deactivated. There is another alarm in any void space except chain locker, which will extend forward of the first cargo hold in case there is a water ingress there. Now hatch covers, as we had talked in the previous class also, are weather tight. Covers will extend between 45 to 60% or 57 to 67% of the
सर
length of
एक मिनट सर स्लाइड ऊपर करना वन स्लाइड ऊपर से
okay. यहाँ
ये
पे
हाँ सर बस ये
okay.
हो गया सर
Okay जी.
सर ये जो बताया 0.5 मीटर वाला ये सब
5 मीटर
0.5 ये बिल्डिस के लिए
बिल्जिस के लिए.
ओके और ठीक है सर
5 मीटर नहीं है, 5 मीटर में तो भर गया वो.
सर 0.5
हाँ.
सर ये बिल्जिस के लिए था या कार्गो होल्ड के लिए?
ये बिल्जिस कार्गो होल्ड में ना बॉस, बिल्जिस कार्गो होल्ड में.
सर बिल्जिस कार्गो होल्ड में है, बट जो अलार्म सिस्टम की हम बात कर रहे हैं वाटर एंग्रेस, बट ये सेंसर जो है ये कार्गो होल्ड पे लगे हुए हैं ना सर, ऊपर हाइट पे. और बिल्जिस की डेप्थ तो और ज्यादा है ना सर नीचे.
बिल्जिस में लगे हैं.
ओके सर.
कार्गो होल्ड में चीजें बिल्जिस में अलार्म है, हाई लेवल अलार्म, लो लेवल अलार्म.
ओके सर.
To warn the personnel working on board that there is the water ingress. Means what? Ingress is not that water is entered. It requires attention. That is the idea, to warn. Even before we go further, can you just by chance recollect the incident of Derbyshire, bulk carrier Derbyshire? Derbyshire was a bulk carrier which was lost at sea because water ingress took place in cargo hold number 1 and then progressive flooding took place because the transverse bulkhead between 1 and 2 gave way. So progressive flooding took place. Now the issue was that there was no alarm system at that time. No alarm system means nobody knew that water is entering. Although later on, as the voyage progressed from bridge, the people working on board and on the bridge, master and other people realized that something is wrong because the ship was going down my head. Even while in motion, they made out, but it was too late. After that, this regulation came that there has to be a water ingress alarm.
तो सर ये 0.5 बिल्ज के लिए और ये जो 2 मीटर है वो तो कार्गो होल्ड में होगा ना सर, सेकंड वन. A second alarm to warn the when the water level reaches a height of 50%. ये तो
सर ये दोनों ही कार्गो होल्ड में आफ्ट बल्कहेड पे होते हैं ना, 0.5 मीटर की हाइट पे एक लो लेवल एंड 2 मीटर
आज
या
ये
1.5
दो
मीटर।
रहते हैं बल्क कैरियर में, देखा
ये
है सर?
दोनों आफ्ट पे ही है सर। सर बिल्ज का तो मैंने कभी कार्गो होल्ड में अलार्म देखा नहीं सर, वहाँ पे बल्क कैरियर पे तो वो कार्गो होल्ड के दोनों अलार्म देखे मैंने।
बिल्ज का भी रहता है हाई लेवल बिल्ज अलार्म आ जाता है, पर ये बल्क एंड पे भी रहते हैं सर, दो सेंसर रहते हैं, एक नीचे है एक थोड़ा ऊपर।
ओके
सर ये बकेट वाले है ना जिसमें हम गीला रैक डाल के टेस्ट करते हैं।
क्या करते हैं? सॉरी
सर एक गीला रैक करते हैं, उसे रैक को डाल के अंदर टेस्ट करते हैं इस अलार्म को।
बिल्ज अलार्म को ना, टेस्टिंग ऑफ द बिल्ज अलार्म।
नहीं सर, ये जो कार्गो होल्ड का
सर
अलार्म होता
बिल्ज
है
अलार्म
सर,
नहीं सर,
सेंसर
ये जो
होता है सर
कार्गो होल्ड पे
कार्गो
लगे हुए होते हैं ना सर, बल्क
आप
आफ्ट बल्कहेड पे।
हाँ सर, ये कार्गो होल्ड के लग रहे हैं सर, दो रहते हैं वहाँ पे सेंसर्स।
Okay, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let us open out Solas itself. Okay, have a look at this. First of all, alarm systems are fitted in the cargo hold. What I am going to do now, interact with you, is to quote unquote Chapter 12, Additional Safety Measures for Bulk Carriers, Regulation 12. Share screen? No, not possible. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. अभी दिखेगा. Can you see it now?
Yes sir, अभी देखा.
Okay, this is Chapter 12, SOLAS, Additional Safety Measures for Bulk Carriers. Regulation 12 talks about it. Hold, ballast and dry space, water ingress alarms. Now, it says regulation applies to bulk carriers regardless of the date of construction. Bulk carriers have to be fitted with water level detectors. For each cargo hold, audible and visual alarm, one with water level above the inner bottom when the level reaches a height of 0.5 meter and a height of not less than 15% of the depth of the cargo hold. But definitely it is not going to exceed 2 meters. Now what is happening is, apart from this, what I was trying to interact with you, this is fitted in the cargo hold at the aft end, but you can also have bilge cargo hold alarms. Those are separate, which will be in the CC.
हाँ सर, वो सेपरेट रहते हैं, बिल्ज हाई लेवल का वो भी आ जाता है।
Right. It is tested also. It is tested and also recorded in PMS.
हाँ, वो तो मंथली टेस्ट पे रिकॉर्ड भी करते हैं ना सर उसको, बिल्ज हाई लेवल।
Monthly test है या जो भी interval है, because your hold may be loaded, so it may not be possible to do it every month. Maybe you got a
जो
long.
मंथली सर जो टेस्ट करते हैं हम बिल्ज हाई लेवल, वो तो सर हम फोरकासल का करते हैं, फोरकासल बिल्ज का। तो कार्गो होल्ड बिल्ज में अलार्म कोई ना होता है सर सेंसर, क्योंकि उसमें तो सर पानी ऑलमोस्ट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम पानी वहाँ होता ही होता है। वो तो हम मैनुअल साउंडिंग्स एवरी मॉर्निंग सर इसीलिए लेते हैं ना, इवनिंग मॉर्निंग की। वहाँ पे कोई अलार्म तो हमें मिलता ही नहीं है सर, क्योंकि
ये अलार्म
होता है सर, अलार्म होता है, मैंने देखा है सर।
not fitted on board your vessel which you have worked, but alarm होता है. That is a safety precaution.
ओके सर।
But as I said, it may not be possible to test it monthly. It will depend on the condition of loading. Maybe the cargo hold is loaded, so you cannot test it. But every chance you have, you do test it for safety precaution and log it down. You put it in the logbook. Bilge level alarms tested, just to be very sure, documented. So this is actually the regulation itself is coming from Chapter 12, Additional Safety Measures for Bulk Carriers. And as we said, if the cargo hold itself is being used for water ballast, then a procedure should be there, provision should be there for overriding device to deactivate it. Now, obviously, one thing more you have to remember, these are two alarms, high level and low level, and the regulation says, SOLAS says, the visual alarm shall clearly discriminate between two different levels. So by color, maybe, one yellow, one red or something, it should be able to distinguish the two different water levels detected in each hold. So this is one thing. And one more thing before we go ahead. A lot of time we have talked about it. Let's have a look at this. Weather tight and water tight. By SOLAS, the correct definition, irrespective of anything else what we are reading, this is the definition for weather tight and water tight from SOLAS. So weather tight, in any sea condition, water will not penetrate into the ship. Please just remember one thing, what we are following, what we are reading is direct quote unquote from SOLAS. Bible said. Watertight should be having scantling between the dimensions, the thickness, etc., and arrangements capable of preventing passage of water in any direction under the head of water likely to encounter in intact and damaged stability conditions. ये जरूरी है. The likely head of water likely to be encountered whether intact or damaged. So what do you say about damaged condition? It means head of water likely to be encountered in the worst case scenario at equilibrium, including intermediate stages of flooding. That is the correct definition of watertight. You note it down. It is an important definition, both weathertight and watertight. That is difference. Very simply put, weathertight means water cannot go in. Watertight means water cannot go in, but permitted to come out. I mean, let me revise it. Penetration is not possible in anyone, weathertight or watertight. But weathertight it is possible to come out. While watertight means it is not permitted in any direction, going in or going out. Hatch covers is an example of weathertight covers. Hatch covers. चलो ये तो just by the way because we stumbled upon it, no problem. Nothing goes a waste. Obviously, because of faster turnarounds, the more the port stay, the more loss for ship owner. So faster turnaround is essential, for which reason cargo space layout should be done so that the ship's productivity is kept in mind and access area is enlarged by using hatch covers which can open out, which will allow the grabs etc. to be moved in, moved out and will aid discharge so that maximum productivity is possible. Even on a bulk carrier, productivity is measured, productivity is monitored by all ship owners. They have special logistics team who capture the rate of productivity, whether it be bulk carrier or any other ship. So hatch cover strength and weather tightness is always considered for enhancing safety at sea. Goes without saying. So there are many types hedge covers. Let's have a look at some of them. This one is by pull wire. It is all connected, all of them. This is the link which is connecting them, the chain, and this is hauled up by using a single wire. This is a design, just a design. Changes are being made. In fact, as we are saying, this one is almost obsolete, but it is there. Single pull wire operated hatch cover. And all the pontoons are linked by a chain. Maker again is MacGregor. So you pull this one by a single wire, it will go, it will roll here, and this will pull along the next one. This is hydraulically operated. Hydraulically operated. So there is junction box containing all the hydraulic operation, and this is moved by hydraulic operation. This is becoming popular. It is not becoming popular, it is the most popular. These are sideways rolling type. Sideways rolling type. So this is where they move, and two panels, they both move, one in this direction, that is the starboard side, and one on the port side. Sideways MacGregor rolling type. These are something different. They are stacking ones, multi-folding covers, stacking ones, which means the hatch cover is lifted up by ship's gear maybe or a shore crane and placed on top of the other, stacking it. Entirely different, but this is also in use on many ships. Instead of rolling them, they are stacked. Then container vessels will load containers on top of hatch covers, so the structural strength here has to be high. Of course, as you are doing it, you will need to take into account the load density of the hatch cover itself, so that you can stack containers on top. This is another type, but used for uh, simply stacking them up in one place. All follow each other and they stack up either forward or aft end. Roll tight. They are called roll tight hatch covers for ease of handling and save space, because in small space the whole hatch cover itself is piled up. Okay, this is something we have to go to, but right now, no, not immediately, but we need to have a look at this. We had talked about it, the rubber, hatch cover, insulation, जब हम कर रहे थे बात about last class when we talked about how hatch covers have to be maintained. So these are side cleats and these are top cleats used on cross joints, and these are used on the hatch sides. This was the rubber we were discussing, how it can be grooved and spoiled, so you have to replace it. Then you could have insulated covers for refrigerated cargo, of course, because to preserve the insulation. Something different, insulated hatch covers for reefer cargo. Anybody worked on reefer cargo? Carrying reefer cargo inside holds, not containers, inside holds. Now by load line convention, this is the regulation. From the bow, which is forward perpendicular, after forward perpendicular, back to 1/4 of the length. Hatch covers need to withstand a load of 1.7 tons per meter square. इसको per meter square पढ़िए. 1.7 ton, 5 tons per meter square for 1/4 of the length. 1/4 of the length has been described as the length after the forward perpendicular going backwards, 1/4 ship's length 1/4 of the LBP. Any hatch cover located there should be able to withstand a load of 1.75 tons per meter square. And then after everything else, after this is called the second point, is called the second position, in which hatch covers must withstand a load of 1.30 tons per meter square.
सर वो स्लाइड दिखाना है एक बार.
एक second, just a minute. I'm trying to locate positions. I want to share with you the positions as per load line. Anjay, somebody was saying something. You can say now.
सर वो स्लाइड
Okay, let me locate. इसकी बात कर रहे हो? This is the last slide we were discussing.
हाँ सर
Okay, go ahead. For the purpose of load line convention, these places or the locations have been described as P1 and P2. I'm going to talk about it. I'm saying when we say P1, what do we mean? We mean from the forward perpendicular moving backwards aft 1/4 of ship's length, which is LBP. That is P1. That is called P1 by load line. Aft of this is called P2. Now, each position has got a regulation regarding what is the minimum the hatch cover is need to withstand. When you say minimum, it can have more, but minimum load withstanding is at P1 1/4 length backwards 1.75 tons per meter square. ये पढ़ना है इसको per meter square. Aft of this 1.30 tons per meter square. Any hatch combing located in P1 should have a height of at least 600 millimeters high and at least 450 millimeters high in P2.
ठीक है सर
अब इसके लिए let us have a look at this because this will make sure that you understand what I'm saying. This is the load line P1, P2 positions. समझ रहे हैं आप? From forward perpendicular to after perpendicular is LBP or simply L. Let us call it L. This length, right? Then, having agreed that this is called LBP or in short L, from forward perpendicular to after perpendicular, anything starting from FP moving 0.25 L or 1/4 of the length is called the P1 position. Then for load line purpose, it is also understood these positions are called P2. From here to this point, P2. And then after P1, again P2 from bridge deck afterward. And poop deck afterward is also position 2. So this is what we are looking at when you have any hatch cover located here in position P1 is to be having a withstand a load of 1.75 tons per meter square. And anything in P2 should withstand a load of 1.30 tons per meter square. ठीक है जी? Just a small idea. Of course, load line is not we are doing, but you must know that this is how hatch covers are designed. And also for combing height 600 millimeter at least means minimum 600 mm high and 450 millimeter high after this. P1 and P2 positions the minimum combing height. If a hatch cover is located here in this position, this is P1, the minimum combing height will be 600 mm. Actually, what is being achieved by this? By prescribing the minimum combing height, etc. By load line convention. So for which, can you think why are load line assigned? Load line assignment, why it is done? And what does load line assign? This is more correct, more appropriate question or interaction. Why is load line assigned? And what does load line assign? Can you think of it? तो आपको बता देना चाहिए, because it is part of second mates also. Why is load line assigned? Number one, and what is assigned by load line? Even more simpler, what is the purpose of load line?
So there is sufficient reserve buoyancy at all times.
Okay, ठीक है, चलो. To start with, it's okay. I understand. Sufficient reserve buoyancy. Now, why is sufficient reserve buoyancy required, gentlemen? Why is it required? Against what? Buoyancy तो है ना आपके पास. That is why you're sailing. That is why.
Damage.
Ah.
When we are when the ship is getting damaged and water is coming inside in the holds and all, then at that point of time we'll need extra buoyancy.
अच्छा, ठीक है ऋषभ, मुझे बताओ. By imagination, hopefully you'll never encounter this. But if water is ingressed, if water is coming inside the vessel, what is going to happen? What is the first thing which will happen? Knee jerk reaction क्या होगा ship का? What will increase?
Draft.
Draft. Okay, चलो draft मान लेते हैं. Draft will increase. When draft increases, what happens to the freeboard? Draft increase हो रहा है, freeboard क्या हो रहा है?
कम हो रहा है सर.
Sorry,
कम होगा सर.
कम हो, मतलब freeboard reduce होगा.
Yes
So
sir.
instead of talking about draft, can we talk about freeboard? That if water ingress do take place, then you will have a reduction in freeboard, right?
Yes sir.
Having agreed on this, can you now think, Rishabh, why load line is assigned? What does load line assign? भाई लोड लाइन कन्वेंशन के थ्रू लोड लाइन मार्क हुई है ना ऑन योर वेसल, वो तो आप जानते हैं. यू हैव रेड द
Yes,
ड्राफ्ट एक्सेट्रा. लोड लाइन असाइंड है. You have seen a certificate also, maybe a load line
Yes
certificate,
sir.
right? So what has load line done? What has it assigned? क्या assign किया उसने? Did you see the certificate? Anyone? Have you seen the certificate of load line?
Minimum freeboard.
Sorry?
Assigned the minimum freeboard.
No, it assigns freeboard, not minimum. Freeboard. It could be summer freeboard, it could be winter freeboard, it could be timber freeboard. It assigns freeboard.
कार्गो लोड कैपेसिटी कितना कार्गो लोड कर सकते हैं?
I did not get you, Shashipal.
जितना भी कार्गो लोड कर सकते हैं हम लोग की रिजर्व बुआयांसी जो है वो रहे.
We are coming back to square one because we have
तो
decided.
उसमें लिखा रहता है with respect to every tropical summer कितना freeboard होगा.
Okay. So what is it called? If you have seen the certificate, you will remember certificate के top पे लिखा है condition of assignment of freeboard for MB so and so. फिर उसकी condition है of assignment of freeboard. That is the purpose of load line, to assign freeboard. Now, अगर हम इसकी बात करें एक 2 मिनट और ले लेते हैं. No harm, because it is cheap mates class. No harm. You tell me what will be the owner's perspective on freeboard. What freeboard will he like? The owner, ship owner, जिसकी
वो
cargo
तो
carrying capacity है. What will he like?
वो तो कम ही जाएगा ना ज्यादा कार्गो लोड.
Correct. So minimum,
मैक्सिमम लोड.
he would like minimum freeboard.
करेक्ट चलो ज्यादा
Right.
कार्गो.
Right. So अगर उसका बस चले अमित कुमार, तो वो क्या कहेगा कि जब तक डेक पे पानी नहीं आ रहा है कार को भरते आओ. His perception will be like that. होगा नहीं, पर he would like that कि जब तक डेक के ऊपर ही पानी ना आ जाए तब तक इसमें कार को डालते हो या फ्रीबोर्ड इतना रखो. मिनिमम का मिनिमम. That is his perception. But this is why load line was designed, to make sure that no overloading and people are safe. It is for safety of vessel, safety of people. तो फिर minimum freeboards assign हुए. Now owner perception is to get the minimum freeboard. So what will he do? He would like to show the surveyor that he is very safe. In which case there are certain things he has to prove. So one of them is the combing height. Combing height, which is our topic, which we are discussing today. Combing height means what? जिसके ऊपर हैच का pontoon आके रेस्ट करता है, that is combing height. I think you understand, or you're quiet, so
Yes.
I'm not sure whether you're following what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Right? Combing के ऊपर ही आएगा ना हैच pontoon. एक सेकंड रुकना.
Yes, sir.
Let me see if I can.
Yes, sir.
ये तो ठीक है, ये तो इसको तो बंद कर सकते हैं. P1, P2, etc. एक सेकंड, just give me a time. I want to scroll and reach that to show you कि combing क्या चीज है. Although you might have seen it. नहीं, इसमें नहीं मिलेगा. Wait a minute. Okay. This part is called the combing, जिसके ऊपर pontoon आके रेस्ट कर रहा है. ये ट्रैक है जिसके ऊपर रोल करेगा, रोल ऑन करेगा हैच कवर. लेकिन ये जो पार्ट है जहाँ मेरा कर्सर है, दिस इज कॉल्ड द कोमिंग. नाउ इसकी भी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन है बाय लोड लाइन कन्वेंशन हाउ हाई इट शुड बी फ्रॉम द टैग. Either you can see here or you can refer to this one. Both are telling you. ये जो एरिया है, दिस इज कॉल्ड द कोमिंग, हैच कोमिंग. इसके ऊपर हैच रखा हुआ है, कवर रखा है, जिसके ऊपर ये स्लाइड कर रहा है, जैसे यहाँ पे दिस इज कॉल्ड द ट्रैक. But the height on which it is resting is called the hedge combing. Do you agree? People who have worked on bulk carriers?
Agree, sir.
Okay, now अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं कि साहब हमें मैक्सिमम कार्गो लोड करना है via the ship owner, तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम प्रूव कर रहे हैं to the inspector or the load line surveyor that we got enough safety margin. कैसे? हमारे पास ये कोमिंग हाइट है और कोमिंग हाइट को हमने और ज़्यादा बढ़ा दिया just to make sure that you have maximum reserve buoyancy. But उसकी भी एक restriction है. This height should also be complying with 600 mm in P1 minimum and 350 mm in the P2 position combing height, which is going to be load line issue or load line का सर्टिफिकेट का इशू. तो अगर इसकी हाइट काफ़ी रखते हैं शिप ओनर तो क्या प्रॉब्लम आएगी? ऑफ कोर्स उसकी कार्गो कैपेसिटी कम होगी, कार्गो कैरिंग कैपेसिटी कम होगी. इसलिए लोड लाइन कन्वेंशन में ये भी दिया हुआ है कि इन पोजीशन P1 एंड P2 व्हाट शुड बी द मिनिमम हाइट ऑफ दिस कोमिंग. इतनी तो रखनी है. ऑब्वियसली जस्ट फॉर फन सेक आई थिंक यू विल अंडरस्टैंड. अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ एक शिप ओनर है, वो अपने मैक्सिमम कार्गो कैपेसिटी चाहता है तो वो कोमिंग की हाइट ही ऊपर तक ले जाए, तो बोले जी मेरा बहुत सेफ है, मेरी हाइट इतनी है कि पानी जा ही नहीं सकता. बट ऑब्वियसली इट विल हैव लीगल इम्प्लीकेशंस, इट कैन नॉट बी पॉसिबल. सो उसके लिए भी स्टेटमेंट फिक्स है कि इतनी होनी चाहिए कम से कम, विच इज व्हाट वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द हाइट ऑफ कोमिंग.
तो इसका और सर फ्री बोर्ड का क्या कनेक्शन हुआ सर?
देखो जितना ज़्यादा, नो सॉरी उल्टा बोलता हूँ, जितना कम फ्री बोर्ड चाहते हो उतना तुम्हें सेफ्टी मार्जिन दिखाना पड़ेगा.
वो तो सर फ्री बोर्ड तो डेक लाइन से होगा ना सर उसका?
फ्री बोर्ड इज डूइंग व्हाट? हमने इसी से डिस्कशन शुरू किया था. फ्री बोर्ड इज डूइंग व्हाट? इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू. एक मिनट मैं कंप्लीट करूं फिर तुम बोलना. फ्री बोर्ड इज डूइंग व्हाट? इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू विद रिजर्व buoyancy. सो इफ यू कैन प्रूव दैट यू गॉट सफिशिएंट रिजर्व buoyancy, प्लीज लोअर माय फ्री बोर्ड, कम कर दो. That is going to be the owner's prerogative. That is how he is going to say, but he has to maintain certain standards.
Sure.
I am talking of this part. The forward hatches, which is P1, should have combings at least 600 mm high and at least 450 mm high in the aft of this P2 में. अब अगर एक शिपोना प्रोएक्टिव है तो वो अपनी कोमिंग हाइट को 1200 mm रख दे. लेट अस से फॉरवर्ड हैचेस P1 पोजीशन में 1200 mm रख दे एंड देन ही विल डिमांड कि मेरा वो फ्री बोर्ड कम करो क्योंकि मेरे पास इनफ हाइट है, कोमिंग की पानी जा ही नहीं सकता. 1200 mm है, रखनी है 600, मैंने 1200 रखी है. ठीक है, ऐसे बोल सकता है ना?
हाँ बोल सकता है सर.
राइट, बोल सकता है, पर ऑब्वियसली इसको कहते हैं exemptions. Exemptions also come under load line convention, which is not really a topic today. Of course, I don't think load line is there in your syllabus, or maybe in naval arc, I don't know. Maybe, I'm not very sure. As far as I remember, it is a subject of naval arc in phase 2. But what I'm saying is that a shipowner's prerogative or his intention will be to prove that he has got maximum safety possible, so kindly reduce my freeboard.
सर अगर कॉमिक हाइट बढ़ा देता है तो उसे रिजर्व बुओयंसी कैसे बढ़ेगी सर?
इसलिए क्योंकि वो ये प्रूव कर रहा है कि इन एनी कंडीशन ऑफ सी पानी जाएगा ही नहीं होल्ड में, क्योंकि कोमिंग हाइट ही इतनी है.
सर होल्ड का तो चलो चला नहीं जाएगा, बाकी स्टेबिलिटी का जो रिजर्व बुओयंसी रहेगी वो तो उतनी रहेगी ना, वो थोड़ी बढ़ेगी. होल्ड का तो आपका कार्गो सेफ हो गया, वो वेल एंड गुड है, बट स्टेबिलिटी पर्पस के लिए जो रिजर्व बुओयंसी है वो तो उतनी रहेगी ना सर.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं आप, लेकिन जो कॉम्प्रोमाइज है ऑन दी रिजर्व बुओयंसी वो मैक्सिमम कहाँ से होगा? कार्गो स्पेस से, क्योंकि उसमें पानी जा सकता है. अच्छा एक बात बताओ फॉर फर्दर डिस्कशन, एक शिप की लेंथ ले लो 200 मीटर्स, जस्ट लेंथ ऑफ अ शिप, और उसका डेड वेट ले लो समथिंग 20,000 टन 30,000 टन, एंड विच वन, ऑयल टैंकर या बल्क कैरियर विल हैव lesser freeboard? Same dimension, which one will have lesser freeboard?
I think that bulk carrier.
Will have lesser freeboard. Are you sure about it? Think. We are saying a ship of same dimension, one is a oil tanker, one is a bulk carrier. किसका freeboard कम होगा?
Tanker.
Tanker. क्यों?
Because
हाँ बोलो.
Smaller openings to, like tank domes have smaller openings towards the tank, more
Okay.
secure.
Okay. But Sahaj Dhaliwal, can I just fine tune it? Let us say both these ships will undergo water ingress. तो bulk carrier में there are broken spaces. Cargo की वजह से water can go inside and occupy those broken space.
Yes, sir.
Right? While oil tanker में क्या होगा? Oil get replaced by water. Consequently, pollution होगा, of course. लेकिन the ship is not going to sink more because, I mean, hypothetically speaking, थोड़ा तो sinkage होगा ही. But because liquid is going to replace liquid, so no issue about freeboard. No issue मतलब lesser issue about freeboard. By bulk carrier में, if water ingress takes place, it will occupy broken stowage and the sinkage will be more. Hence, you need more freeboard when you compare hypothetically same dimension of ships, oil tanker or bulk carrier. Think about it. We are going to talk more as we go along. No issue. The debate is still open. India wants to know.
वो तो ठीक है सर, ये तो आप वेसल टू वेसल कंपेयर करें, वो तो चलो चलेगा, बल्क में इतना आ जाकर टैंकर में इतना. बात चल रही थी सर कोमिक हाइट से वो अपना फ्री बोर्ड कैसे कम कर सकता था, मेरे को ये क्लियर आउट नहीं हुआ सर. मान लिया उसने अपना कार्गो जस्टिफाइड कर दिया कि मेरा कार्गो इज वेरी हाइट स्टील, पर आपकी रिजर्व बुओयंसी तो उतनी रहेगी ना. अगर कार्गो इज लोडेड, वो कार्गो होल्ड रिजर्व बुओयंसी में थोड़ी आएंगे.
यार लोड लाइन असाइन करके कर क्या रहा है? तुम्हारी रिजर्व बुओयंसी को ऑल्टर कर रहा है ना. अगर तुम्हारी लोड लाइन असाइनमेंट जो है लेसर फ्रीबोर्ड पे है, ये बात हो रही है. बेसिकली ओनर इज इंसिस्टिंग कि मेरा फ्रीबोर्ड कम कर दो ताकि मुझे कार्गो और लेना पड़ेगा, ले सकूं मैं. Just think about it. We are going to discuss more. No issue. We are going to come back and resume and discuss this out before we go further. And we will meet at 12:45. Okay. And think about it. We are going to talk about it. 12:45. Okay, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay.